you're already starting the year off right. If new tires aren't your thing, you'll even find used tires for as low as $29. Visit any of the Tire Outlet First Coast locations or log on to TireOutlet.com right now and find your new or used tires from Tire Outlet. TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
All right, it is time to rock right now. The 10-minute drill. Dan, I'll get us started here.
I'm ready, my friend.
Good morning, friend. How was your trip to Orlando? All right.
Brutal.
Listen, I have scanned the history books.
Yes, you have.
I've gone through the NFL Super Bowl Almanac.
Okay.
Having a hard time finding anyone, anywhere, anytime in the history of the game who was forced into action as a team's backup, won the Super Bowl, and then went to sign with another team and took him to the Super Bowl. The answer to that question is 0.
Okay.
So,
Jeff Prosser, before the Patriots drafted Tom Brady, how many sixth-round picks were the best quarterback of all time? 0.
Yeah, I would think, yeah.
You got to start somewhere, friend. And if Nick Foles is our best option, then by God, Nick Foles is going to be the guy.
Well, that wasn't going to be my question. We kind of
I digress.
over that one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
Would you rather have Nick? The Raiders are coaching in the Senior Bowl, and there just seems to be too much like whispers and innuendos about Derek Carr being the long-term John Gruden guy there. Would you rather have Derek Carr or Nick Foles?
Hit it. That's a good question. Who would I rather
have? I
have?
like starting with a good question.
Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl. Derek Carr is yet to be in the playoffs. He got a team to the playoffs, but was injured and not able to play. Derek Carr is 32-46, 62.8%. He's one of those stat guys are pretty good, but the wins aren't there. He's young. He's got a monster deal. What are the contracts? Are they comparable?
I think that Carr would probably be about on pay 22, 23 apiece, probably either one.
What do I got to give to get Derek Carr?
That's a good question.
What do I got to give Nick Foles?
Well, if you wait, you can get him in free agency, but there seems to be more whispers about working some sort of trade. I'm not trading for Nick Foles. If they do that, I give up.
Are you suggesting Derek Carr's available, or are you asking me this hypothetically?
That's hypothetically. If he's flat out available, it'd be one thing.
Is it a no-brainer to you? Because I'm here struggling. I would say
I would
probably.
take Carr. It's not a no-brainer, but I would take the younger, more statistically prominent guy who I think is not good enough. Listen to me.
Yes.
The guy last year, can you this is a serious question.
I'm listening.
Name one Oakland Raiders receiver.
Well, I had Amari Cooper for a couple, 3 years.
He hadn't had him for 3 months. Name one. That's what I'm saying, and this is not to put you on the spot.
No, he had my favorite tight end, Jared Cook.
Awesome.
Love that guy.
Yeah, not a receiver.
I'd like to have him.
Yeah, you can't. And the reason is that's how bad the Raiders are. That's how much.
Cliff Branch, Fred Biletnikoff.
Well, now we're talking.
You know, Johnny Hester. All right. I guess the answer to the question would be I might lean towards Foles, but that might be because I think he's more
the closest
available.
Comparison to Nick. There is one guy who was Nick Foles. That was Jeff Hostetler.
Yeah,
Hostetler was on the Giants for a lot of years. He was forced in.
Went to the Raiders and did okay, right?
Did okay. Didn't take him to a Super Bowl. Had a playoff.
Did they win? Were they winners with
Hostetler?
Hostetler?
They had 1 year. I think they were playoffs one of his 4 years.
He got hurt, didn't he? Did he get hurt a bunch?
He was hurt often.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's the closest, and he went to Oakland and never was, he didn't win a Super Bowl like he did with the Giants, but real similar to Foles, being put in the lineup last year. He went in for Sims, won late season games, won playoff games, and beat the heavily favored Bills in the Super Bowl.
A franchise player went down, hence a franchise's season went up in smoke, and in any sport, that's awful. In the NFL, it stinks. Aaron Rodgers goes down last year. The Packers were done. In baseball, it's bad, even though baseball, you can work around some of that. But still, if you lose a guy, you lose a guy. You're not going to – it makes it awful tough to compete if you lose your best player.
Okay.
And last night, the season came to an end in the NBA for the Indiana Pacers as Victor Oladipo's kneecap went sideways.
Well, and we'll talk to Doc Murphy about that next segment.
Yes, we will.
But most years, Dan, I'd say, well, so what? They're the Pacers. But
They're third in the East.
Right, in the Eastern Conference,
Yes.
there's no LeBron anymore, right? Let's
Correct.
give that reminder. I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath. It could be a real, competitive battle to win the East this year between Toronto, Milwaukee. The Celtics are going to be around. The Sixers have a load of talent. The Pacers were right up there in that mix, but without Oladipo, they're not. So it is especially untimely and unfortunate for the Pacers, because this was finally for the window of open in the East for the first time in 15 years, and your best player, maybe the most underappreciated player in the NBA right now, is Victor Oladipo. I mean, he's playing like a top 10, top 20 player. So
I would agree.
Yeah, probably a torn ACL, I guess they're saying, and that's not a good deal. Dan,
Yes, sir.
If I was a young NFL player between the ages of 23 and 32, I would always take this route. And it's basically the rich man's equivalent to what we did when we were 25 to 32. And that was what? We would have the government take as much out of our paycheck as they could, because at least we knew we'd be getting some cash in the future, right? The smart way to do it when you get older is to keep every bit of money as you can and let it work for you. But when you're young, you don't do that. You would just spend it on a weekend out at the beach. So the NFL equivalent to me is the restructure. So if I'm an NFL player, if I'm Calais Campbell, I want to restructure, because to restructure, I'm going to get more moving forward. I'm going to get that refund check from the government in April. So I know that was kind of a point of conversation. Did it surprise you that he was just as 100% on board with it, or does that make sense knowing Calais on having his deal restructured to give him some extra salary cap space this year?
He's okay with the restructuring. He's not okay with giving any money back, so anybody would do that.
That's what I'm saying. Most restructures, you don't give money back.
Yeah.
They just extend the deal, or they move money into later in the deal.
Yeah.
So, any restructure that takes away money is immediately turned down by the player. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So anything they're talking about would maybe add another year at the tail end.
I think Calais is okay with, And then listen, he's made a lot of money. He wants to win, and he's kind of the guy you're going to use that money to help get other guys in here. But he's not giving
giving anything back.
And listening to the conversation yesterday, there wasn't like, I'll do whatever it takes. No.
I'll restructure, especially if they add a year at the end of the deal.
Yeah.
Which the Jags can't afford to not have Calais Campbell.
Right. So I think that is going to happen. It was kind of neat going down to the Pro Bowl and seeing. We just went to the AFC practice because they practice at the same time. It is. I'll say this: it is hilarious to watch the practice. It is like a Saturday walkthrough before a game.
Sure, it is. Well, the game has become a joke. It used to be a hard-fought game.
They had a 1-hour practice, and they called it after 45 minutes.
We got enough done.
We got enough.
Let me tell you what the coaches weren't overheard saying. I just don't have enough talent out here. There's no way we can win this game.
Gus was there. Jalen Ramsey's down there with his. He's bringing the family in for the week. Jalen's Jalen. I mean, he did his interviews. Jalen just doesn't want to talk about the actual what happened. And so I said, well, then, Jalen, let's look ahead to 2019. Well, I don't know what's going to happen there. Okay, so basically not a whole lot for him to
Okay, well, how you feeling right
say.
now, Chief?
I will say this, and I'm blocked on his Twitter, so I don't know.
That's too bad. Did you ask him, will you unblock me?
D-Rock did.
And he said no?
Yeah, I think he did say basically no. But I got the feeling that he did not have a great relationship with the recently leaving Perry Fuel, because he was asked about it, and I guess he tweeted, and again, I don't see his tweets, but I guess he tweeted something.
Well, can't you look at him even if you're blocked? You just can't communicate?
No. I guess he tweeted something to a couple of guys that he knows in Carolina where Perry Fuel is landing, and basically said good luck, and was asked about his relationship, and he said, no, I was just talking to my guys. But clearly, to me, and again, just my opinion, I don't think he wanted to say a lot about the former secondary coach of the Jaguars. So, anyway, we shall see. But
Twitter's got a loophole.
That was interesting.
Just so you know, because I'm all over Jalen Ramsey's page, reading everything that he's written.
Mm-hmm.
Just Google it, if you don't do it from your login, you can at least follow, see what he said.
I'm not that interested.
Oh, you're not.
In making sure I follow.
You sounded a little bit injured about being blocked.
Oh, no. I'm not injured at all. Okay. It's kind of a badge of honor, quite honestly. Yes.
It is? It's
a badge
of honor.
Okay, I'm all right with that. Yeah, I respect that. You know, he can do that because I have this way to state my opinion, and he can do it through his Twitter.
All right. James Harden last night, call him James Garden because he went off at MSG.
Yeah.
What a surprise. James Harden scored a lot of points. I mean, shoot 40 times a game. I think I might could get 21 NBA game. But my question for you is this. Many folks in the Garden last night may have seen the most impressive individual performance they've seen. So I ask you, Dan Hicken, what's the most impressive individual performance you've seen at any of the games that you've either attended or covered?
At the Garden?
No, anywhere in the whole world.
The most impressive performance I've ever seen?
Impressive individual performance
in any
you've
sport?
ever seen in any sport. I have mine. It jumps right to mine. It may be yours too. I think you were there as well. But the night that Chris Jackson went off in the O-Dome against the Gators as a freshman and fouled out the entire team and scored about 50 points, it to this day remains the most impressive individual performance. Now, we've seen a bunch. We've seen Tebow go crazy, Emmett, Charlie Ward. There's been a ton. So I'm just curious if there's one that stands out above others. There's not.
No.
Which is fine. That's not a wrong answer.
I thought of Tom. I watched Tom Seaver throw a one-hitter.
Well, that's would qualify.
That would be up there, but I mean,
I saw Rick Camp hit a 3-run homer in the 16th. That's up there.
Yeah. That's a good. That's a great. I'd have to really. I mean,
more.
there's a lot of sporting
I was
events.
thinking about it, kind of, driving in today. That's when I do all my great thinking.
No, that's a good
today
one.
in the rain.
I'll get back to you on that.
Were you at that Chris Jackson game or no?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. We'll say it's not very memorable. Then.
No.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Willie Jack. Was that Willie Jackson?
He fouled out. Willie Jackson was among those. He may have fouled out Hosey Grimsley.
Yeah.
He may have fouled out about 4 of them, and he punctuated it after watching him. James Harden do step-back threes, crossover step-back threes for an hour. He decided at the end of the night, at about 5'11", he would go back door for an alley-oop.
Yeah, he was good.
And the guy jumped up to about the top of the backboard and caught a ball. And then he kind of went to the NBA and lost his mind.
All right, Beef, let's take caller number 3. What are we offering up today at 641-1010?
Oh, dude, we're getting the hookup today, Danny.
Oh.
Caller number 3 at 641-1010. They're going to get a $20 gift card to use at the new 1000 Degrees Pizza. They're celebrating their new Southside location. That's Neapolitan hand-stretched pizza.
Let the pizza sit for a minute.
Cooked in 2 minutes, Dan.
Yeah, but let it sit for a minute after you get it.
So you're going to get $20 to use there at their new Southside location. You'll also get a gift card from our friends at Zips Express Car Wash. They've got 7 area locations to serve you, including one in Orange Park.
All right, 641-1010, caller number 3 right now. Back with the doctor after this.
The Drill on 1010XL from the studios of Republic Services.